in, well, it's actually 2 slots now.
Right.
You have to run in the general for 2 slots. There were 4. So of the 4, you came in third. Tell us about that.
Well, that is the grace of God as a blessing to be able to move forward to the general election, to be able to get my views out there, get our views out there. This is more than just an election. This is not just a group coming together and saying this is the person. This is a new group of ideas. Okay. And also, it's more of a movement because now we are recapturing our education system with the election of 2 school board members. What we have is an opportunity now for a voice from the community. I don't think that voice has been very well heard in the past, um, and is now time for the community, through their elected representatives, to respond and to talk and to input and to help making the decisions of the policies which the board is tasked to bring forward.
How do we restore confidence? People don't believe in the school system.
Uh, First of all, one of the aspects of
I mean,
my
would you agree that the community doesn't trust what's happening on
it
North
is trust.
Avenue?
Like word up there, trust is all about trust. But trust comes from communication, and communication comes from trust. When you do not have communication coming forth from an entity, you cannot build a level of trust. Uh, there are needs in a community, and we have to be able to answer those needs. Now, I say that because we've got it all confused. We really have. I'm tired of the mess. I'm tired of the foolishness. I'm tired of it, and I know you are too.
Who is we, Mr. Bey?
We are the community.
You
Bottom
say,
line,
you say the community is confused?
no, is tired of the foolishness. I didn't say they were confused. The community knows what it wants. Okay, but communication, because the school board has been rather cloistered. It's been kind of shut off. Is not responding to community wants, needs, or desires. There are 3 occupational.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Bey. Who is
Okay, cool.
who is responsible for the schools? Is it the mayor? Is it the governor?
It is the community first and foremost. That's where it should properly lay.
I
Okay,
disagree,
but
Mr. Bey, because when the community shows up at these meetings,
mhm,
they give you like 30 seconds. When the school board has its monthly meeting,
right.
they
Mhm.
don't seem to care what the community thinks.
Now that is the
I'm
perception
I'm,
of
I'm, I'm
looking
taking
at
this directly.
community input.
I'm
Okay, you're
taking this
looking at
directly.
a controlled. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you there.
I'm taking this directly from Charlie Duggar.
Okay,
Charlie Duggar's been going to school board meetings for 30 years. And
right.
all I can remember in the back of my mind is 30 seconds, Mr. Duggar. 30 seconds, Mr. Duggar. Meanwhile, the man is taught, retired, stayed involved, one of my mentors.
Right.
But the school board has never wanted to hear what he has had to say. He's been fighting since I was a kid.
Me too. Me too. The thing is that now that is a lack of communication right there. You can't build trust
They
if
don't
you don't
care about
allow
trust.
communication. Now, one moment. Now, when you have an entity on the school board that is of the community, from the community, selected by the community,
But you
now that you
outnumbered,
are
Mr.
open,
Bay.
I'm sorry, say again.
You are outnumbered. It's only two of y'all.
No, we have a city behind us. This
Not
is
in
one.
that room. In that room, they cutting off mics. If you don't say what they want to hear, they will blackball you or whiteball you. They
Mm-hmm.
won't talk to you.
Oh, but guess what? They're not cutting off our mics. Why? Because that changes the whole playing field now that they are elected representatives.
Mr.
Their
Bay, somebody need to
responsibility.
be coming out of North Avenue in handcuffs. A bunch of people. And some of them black. You know, y'all, I mean, school, what about the school board president, the union president, the teachers, the people that that employees have been voting for 20 or 30 years? People stay in the same position for 20 and 30 years. It's like, damn, go find bingo, go sell crypto, go do something else. But why are you still here with that same dumb stuff?
Let me explain something.
They said
Now,
Marilyn Mosby, it didn't work. Well, they sure decided that real quick compared to the schools.
right? Okay. Let me.
And let me tell you my last beef. Andre Salonzo came in there and got rid of 75% of the teachers and principals, particularly the principals. He got rid of 75% of the principals at one time. No wonder the system is failing.
I agree with you.
You
I
should
agree
go
with
pull
you.
him back and lock him up.
Let me explain something to you. I am a product of Baltimore City Public Schools. Okay, I went to 91 145 Edmonton. I've raised three grandchildren, all of them attending Baltimore City Public Schools, graduating from them. I've seen the battle. I've been in the middle of that battle of just being a parent, of also being a teacher. Okay, when I say we're tired of foolishness, what am I talking about? What am I talking about is the lack of communication. People say, why doesn't the school board communicate? Well, with the public. Well, that's one thing. But the other thing is, how do you expect some entity to do something that they don't do well internally, external? Does that work? No.
I
No,
don't
it
know.
doesn't.
I know we got an education and it wasn't no lottery money back then. I
No.
want to know who's stealing the money, who's counting the money, where is the money, where is the audit, where
That's
is the audit? Because I keep hearing people say they ain't got no money, but you got people on North Avenue making six figures. Who
okay.
should be making six figures and with this kind of product? No business would stay open producing the product Baltimore City Public Schools produces.
So where did the
Maybe it's time to just scrap the whole system and start over. That's
where
what
did,
Boyd Rutherford said, because all we hear is excuses.
mhm. Where did the change take place? Let's look back. Okay. First,
Martin O'Malley,
Martin O'Malley.
1999.
You think it just started there? Think about how that school board has been structured. Okay, one moment. Let's put it where it belongs. Policy is formed by the board in any what organization, right? So therefore, when we go back, how was this board structured? This was an antebellum sort of configuration where only the people with the wherewithal to take out the time to help the quote unquote poor urchins, right, were put on the board. Okay, they were selected by powers that are already drunk on their own entitlement. And
Seems like racist to me, because if these were white kids, white parents would have shut it down.
they would have
So,
shut
so in
down the
certain
school.
ways, I do blame parents for
Mhm.
not being more involved,
Right.
but they only practicing what they saw. And at some point, less emphasis has been on education in our community, in the black community. We
Now,
care more about a little boy wearing a $200 belt than getting a perfect score on his SAT. We celebrate the prom
Mm-hmm.
Your job for 17 years is to go to school and bring me good grades. You ain't getting all this damn helicopter, stretch limos. Let's put that money on getting your butt into a college. We spend so much money on the prom. I mean, people doing proms, it's like, it's a prom. It's one night. I'll be damned, I'm spending $4,000 on you for one night. I don't spend $4,000 on me for one night. So it's the community, it's the schools, and then you got a school CEO making how much? 350,000 with kicking out 0.13 GPAs.
And what company
Changing
would have a
grades.
CEO that you pay that much and you don't have?
I can't imagine my English teacher, our beloved Miss Orange, changing grades. I can't imagine her changing grades. I can't ever, never.
No, Miss
And
Orange.
if she had to do it, I think she would win.
But okay, let me be clear with you. Okay, and let me be very, very clear with you that educators are some of the hardest people to change. Okay, the reason why there's three occupational hazards. One, they're crucified for everything. Number one is to be crucified. Number two is to drink your own poison, to believe the age of enlightenment and industrial mentality that's formed our school systems, right? And number three is to be crucified by people drinking their own poison. And we've fallen victim to that. When we see the change, there was a time when we possessed our school systems, when it became vital for us to even create our school systems. And so, therefore, we were invested, and the whole community was invested, not in just in the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They were invested by learning from and getting the product of the school system. The product of the school system is not just the young scholars, it is the products that the young scholars bring forward. This is how you bring community back in. Nobody goes shopping to a place where you can't get the product that you desire. Well, community has not been getting the product that they desire. And that's why I said that community is the impetus of education. It is the education is a function of the community, not vice versa. What we've done is turn that whole thing around. And now education is the function of industry. Now education is the function of political stances. But do we reach into the community? Do we understand the wants, needs, desires of the community?
Why
Sometimes
don't they? Why don't they? I mean, these are educators. These are supposed to be smart people. These are people with PhDs and all of that. And they all seem very, very not smart to me.
where did you go to school, Dan?
I went to Matthew Henson Elementary School. I went to Lamel, William Hugo Lamel, number 79. I went to Poly and I went to Dunbar.
Okay.
So that means I can think and I can fight.
And I grew up on Emerson and Papa Grove, okay?
Oh, you definitely had to fight. They was throwing cats over that bridge. But you need to take that over there to the school board.
And that's what I plan to do.
Too many times you got people on that school board who clearly can't relate to our children.
And that's the problem. One of the keys in educating is to
create a platform. We call these people out and taking them out back to the woodshed. Somebody's getting paid to turn their head. You can't keep selling dope on the same corner. Baltimore City Public Schools is like the dope man. They keep selling dope every day, and nobody's saying anything. They're selling dope because they're giving out an inferior product with no transparency. Somebody should be going to jail.
Okay.
You're messing with the kids. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're still a problem.
Get out of the way. If you don't know what you're doing, get out of the way.
And if they won't get out the way, lock them up.
Move them.
Somebody should be coming out of there in handcuffs. Who's making 6 figures on North Avenue? For what? It surely ain't the maintenance people, because you can't keep icicles off the classrooms. It ain't money because they collected $15 billion through the Maryland State Lottery. It ain't money. I always hear people say we need more money. No, somebody got a crack problem.
We have to, and you know what the thing is, as long as there's not a drunk out there, right, that knows that he has a problem as long as he's drunk. It takes that moment of sobriety. It takes that revelation. Well, the narcotic has been privileged. Okay. And as long as they ride high on the wave of privilege, they don't see that.
And then what's this thing about gender education? What's going on? Are they teaching 5-year-olds about sex?
No.
Is that happening in our schools? Is that happening?
I do not know if it's happening. It shouldn't be happening. I have heard that it's happened.
I heard the
I've
street
seen
saying
it happen. But then again, you look at this whole society that's educating us now. Okay,
they're not educating me. They're educating their own dumbass self, but they're not educating me, and they're not educating my children. I heard some good things about Santa Lisa. The first time I really heard anything good, they said that she is fighting against these people who are pushing gender education on 5-year-olds.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, nobody's thinking about.
We need to call
at 5 years old. Were you thinking about that at 5? Were you thinking about that at 5?
No, I wasn't.
No, and neither was I. You know what I mean? And so why are you planting stuff? You know,
because these are sick people.
This is a discovery that comes with time and age, okay?
Hey, listen, Johns Hopkins is the biggest research institution in the world. Who do you think their guinea pigs are?
Oh, it has been for a long time, our community.
So we'd have heard all of the experiments. Somebody need to get locked up and removed. Too much money's coming through there.
Then the question becomes who replaces them. Okay, how
No,
do we ensure? How do we ensure that we improve?
Put the orange in charge.
We know that the system is broken. Okay, and we can kick that tire all we want.
We got too many PhDs because they apparently are stupid.
We can kick that tire all we want, and the car still will not run. We have
Amen. Just bring back the people they got rid of.
I'm sorry, say again?
Bring back the people they got rid of.
The 75% that they got rid of, is that the ones you're referring to?
The ones with the institutional knowledge of dealing with black people. Because this is a majority black school system, right?
Right. And we need to take control of that school system as a people. Okay.
What does that mean? They won't let you. They give you 2 slots. You're not taking over anything with 2 slots.
But we're taking over the minds. This is an education too. This is an education. This is an education for the community. This is a movement for the community, and we have to inspire and move forward. How do we change? I mean, I'm tired of the blame game. I see the blame game constantly going on. I feel, I know that we've been injured. I know we need the reparations. I know all that is true, but how do we move forward? Where is the plan? Okay, how do we put the minds together? How do we wake up some people? Because I think that some people are not there because doing badly because they were evilly intended. Okay, I think they're there because they've forgotten who they are or where they're from or what they're about or what their task is. You're in the news business. We've watched it change over the years. You know, we didn't go into that business because we thought we could do harm. We thought we could do good, but you've seen it change. It becomes over the influence constantly. And so now it becomes harder and harder to find even trust on your nightly news. to pick up your newspaper and find a level of trust. Well, it's the same thing with education. One person once asked me, he was trying to help a student. He said, every time I reach out my hand, he slaps it away. Every time. He says, why is that, Kwame? And I said, well, if every time you see a hand reach out to you and it's just trying to push you further under, every hand becomes suspect. So therefore, we have to rebuild that trust through our communication, through our vision. Where is our vision of what we want in our future?
How long is a school board appointment, Mr. Bey?
3 years. Okay. And
if you are not able to accomplish what you want in the first year, will you stay on the board?
That's a good question. It depends on how much I've accomplished. Sometimes it's not going to be like, boom, this thing didn't start overnight. Yes, I will.
No, Mr. Bey,
I'm going to keep trying.
We keep hearing that thing. Oh, it didn't start. Oh, it took a while.
It didn't.
No, something got to stop right now.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you give yourself on that school board before you say, yes, this is working, or these MFers are crazy?
First of all, I'm not giving up.
We're going to hold you accountable.
Yeah,
we
hold
don't
me
know
accountable.
who else. Listen, they don't even talk to the media.
Right. That's a problem.
Chris Papps.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's getting on their nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Papps from Fox makes me wonder, what is 13, 11, and 2? What have they been doing for years? I get it, people mad at Fox, but what has 13, 11, and 2 been doing? Because if we leave it up to them, everything is hunky-dory at school headquarters.
And we know it's not. It's obvious.
So the media has been part of the problem.
It has been part of the problem. All the stakeholders have been part of the problem because they only see their own limited point of view. And that's why we have to open it up here. We have to open up to the stakeholders. We have to be able to bring people look at things horizontally or vertically, but they don't look at education as it should be looked at, as a matrix. We don't look at it as a matrix. All we see is our own little bag, our own little, entity there, our own little point of view. And until we open up our vision, we're going to be looking through those blinders.
I ain't looking through no blinders. Somebody's stealing. I want to know who's stealing. And I want to know who's still there from the O'Malley administration, because a lot of them been making a lot of money, 6 figures, for these prominent positions that they apparently aren't doing, because schools wouldn't have heat issues or AC issues. 23 schools were closed in June because of heat.
Makes no sense.
$15 billion has come through the lottery. Where's the money? So
where we spend it? We need an audit of not only finance, but operations.
Okay, why haven't we had an audit? It's our public tax dollars.
The reason why we haven't had an audit is I think people are comfortable in control. Those people that.
So what are you going to do about it?
I will be pushing for several audits, not only just financial audits. I will be pushing, and the public will be behind me in pushing for these things. You cannot shut down the voice of the community. You cannot shut it down. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm going to answer your question.
You're the only black man of the 4 finalists.
Mm-hmm.
How important is it to have black men in the Baltimore City public school system and on the board?
Oh, yes.
How many other black men are on the board already?
I haven't counted. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how many are there. Okay. But here's
a house with no black man is like a house with no daddy.
Right.
I mean, a strong black man. You know, the kind that come home every night.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the strength of Black male presence is key in our community.
Well,
Why?
why they bring in
Because
Alonzo? He wasn't. He he didn't even like girls, did he? See, we need some strong black men back in the community. It's time to stop pussyfooting around. They doing all of these things to feminize our boy, to masculinize our girls. We got to get back to some basic values because the kids are running things and they lack the wisdom of our ancestors.
and this is what it's about, bringing forward and that's why I say the community has to take control, and
How?
they need key people in positions to do that. That will voice them, that will communicate with them, that will listen, and that will communicate their views. Okay, I think this position, right? This position, this job that we have in front of us, whoever is selected, you know, is different than it's ever been before on our Baltimore City School Board.
No, I think they need to change all of them because what they have is not working. Listen,
Mhm.
when you were failing in school, halfway through the semester, they gave you a deficiency.
Right. I've done that a lot.
The whole school board system, the people on North Avenue, all of that have a deficiency.
They have an F
So
right
I'm
now.
not sure a Band-Aid is going to help somebody with their arm cut off,
Right.
whose arm has been severed.
Well, that's why I say this is more than an election. This is a movement. I mean, not just this election. Okay. When we awaken people to the power that they have, and I'm serious, it's in the house. What you need is in the house, it is in the community. The knowledge we have is in our DNA and in our community. If once we awaken people to what's there for them, then they will begin to make a move. But you need to have somebody that communicates that. As a teacher, okay, as a black man who's a teacher, I have seen how needed my presence is. I've seen how needed it is because of the propaganda that has gone out about
Let me
black
just
men.
tell you, as a black man in Baltimore, you kind of don't want to say nothing because everything is politically corrected. I am black, unapologetically black,
Right? And so am I.
and we are tired of people trying to push sex on our children.
Mm-hmm.
Mind your damn business. Go tell your own damn children about sex. We are tired of people all up in our face about what our children's sexuality is. Mind your damn business. Go handle your own sexuality.
Right.
Now I heard Santa Lisa was standing up for that.
True. I've
Well,
heard the
big
same
ups
thing.
to
True.
her. Big ups for that. We
Yes.
don't need people talking to our kids at 5 years old about gender identity. Mind your damn business. That's what I want to tell them.
And now tell me something.
These kids ain't even 5, 6, and you talking to them about sex. And then every commercial on TV is this and that. How are you trying to feminize the black community? Because that's what it seemed like. Put some strong black men on television. Only way a black man get on television, he got to be smiling and kiki, ka, or chasing a ball. You notice that so many of the black male images are soft, smiling, wearing these bright ass colors. Stop that.
I'm listening to you right
We
now
sick of it.
because
Damn, Afram ain't even got the red, black, and green no more. What happened to the red, black, and green in Afram? Now we ashamed of our black liberation colors? They got some old soft purplish, mauve, lavender. No, red, black, and green, just like in that thing right there behind you. Red for the blood, black for the people, green for the land. They're doing the okie doke right in front of our face, and we don't even see it. Thank God we did have the sense to vote for a black governor and a black attorney general. This is war, Kwame Kenyatta-Bey, and I want you to understand, you're going to be in the middle of it, and people are going to be holding you, one of the only black men on that board, highly accountable. They know where you live at. They know where you work at. They don't know where these other people at. And so I want you to know, you in for a fight. You might be in for the biggest fight of your life. Where'd you go to junior high school?
I went to 91, Gwynns Falls Park Junior High School.
Well, y'all right down the street from Lamel. You got some good basic training.
Yeah. And like I said, I grew up on the Grove. Well, I mean, and besides that, been married for 30 years. So
you remember when they used to throw people over that bridge?
Oh, I remember, but it was still in the middle of the night. I would walk across that bridge too.
I walked across. They never threw me across
I
that bridge.
I hung out in Leakin Park and would read. I mean, I would take books and go down there and read and stuff.
You were really bored. You were really bored. I ain't going to Leakin Park for nothing. We go to Leakin Park for one thing. That's to drop off carpets.
Oh man, no, they said, well, at least it's an improvement from dropping off bodies. But no, I used to tell people the only way you really get hurt in Leakin Park is being hit by a body being thrown from a car. But it's gotten better.
They drop bodies out there in Leakin Park, all right? Everybody know that's where you drop carpets at.
Yeah. Okay, but that's
maybe they need to take some of them school board people out of Leakin Park.
No.
Let me ask you this. Do the school board people, do they ever visit the community?
You know what? They disappear. They kind of.
Do these people have children?
They disappear.
Do these people have children in the Baltimore City public schools? I think that should be a requirement. If your children are not in this system, get the hell out that door. Get out. Get out. Why are you selling me a product that you won't use? No, thank you. Get out.
Thank you.
In order to be a school board member, you should have a child, grandchild, or something in the school system. And if you don't, we don't need you. You see how the parents out there in Uvalde, Texas responded?
Yeah.
They're not playing.
They're not playing.
And parents in Baltimore City, how are you going to reach them? How are you going to get parents to come to meetings that they've been historically and traditionally silenced at? 30 seconds, Mr. Duggar. 30 seconds, Mr. Bey.
How do you get them to come here? And they come in force. They come in. You're right. You're right. This is a battle. This is a total battle because we're doing one of the hardest things. We're trying to create a cultural change. We're trying to.
You better get an army of the people. If I'm you,
I got you.
I would have a happy hour on Baltimore City Public School Board right there in front of the school board. Everybody like happy. I have an all-white party at the next school board meeting. Put tables and chairs out there, get some dancers, because they're not letting us come to the meeting no way. That way we can wait out front and we can wait out back by the parking lot. Because we want to see these people who make these decisions for our children. We don't trust them. Right. They have failed us repeatedly. They're like repeat offenders. They are worse than the murderers walking the streets of Baltimore. And maybe I'm just getting it wrong. Maybe I don't really, maybe Fox has me amped up.
Well, let me see. It is something to be amped up about. But
damn right it is.
Yeah, it is. But now here's the strategy. What is the strategy to move forward? We can get amped up all we want. We can get excited all we want. We can be mad all we want.
Put somebody in the trunk of the car and take them for a ride.
I don't live on the Grove anymore, but
the boys do.
But no, we need a strategic plan.
There's a dude named Brady up Poplar Grove. When I was a little kid, they say, "Don't go up Poplar Grove. Brady gonna throw you over the bridge."
But no, now we have to find a sophisticated way, a intelligent way, a strategic way to come up with these solutions. Okay, That's where I'm coming from. Okay, that's exactly where I'm coming from. You know. Oh, okay. Thank you. Uh, you know something? We're going to move forward here. We're not going to be stopped. Okay. Um, you can take that from Kwame Kenyatta-Bey. Okay. We will not be stopped. We have waited too long. We're tired of the foolishness. And when people get tired, in the Constitution, not in the Constitution, in the Declaration of Independence, it says when any form of government becomes destructive to the
I
ends
don't
of life.
believe none of them white people documents. They
Is
lied. No,
okay, listen to me.
I ain't believe
Listen
none
to
of
me.
them.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Nah, they full of
Okay.
lies.
It is the right of the people to
No,
alter or
the
abolish it.
documents don't
Guess
mean
what?
nothing.
That's not a right. That's a lot of
I've
listen to
learned
me.
from the young people. All of them documents, George Washington didn't tell a lie. All men are created equal. That's a crock of crap. Go sell that
Okay.
crap to somebody else.
Wait. Can you listen? Can you listen to? Can I
Okay.
finish my statement?
Okay.
Okay. It says it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. Well, that's a false advertising because it is not a right. It's
They
a
lie, man. They lie and they
some
steal.
people. This is what people do from the beginning of time.
No,
If
thank you.
something
I'm
doesn't
not
work, we
interested.
alter it or we abolish it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to alter this thing. We're going to change it, and we're going to abolish those things that do not work. You sell me that bill of goods, I'm going to use it. Just like the Second Amendment and the Panthers.
Donald Trump. Look,
Like,
they teach little kids, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Donald Trump sold this country to the Russians. And then he did an insurrection on J6. I don't believe nothing. Then they put a black Sambo, because he ain't Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom was actually a hero. Clarence Thomas, a black man who sexually assaulted, abused Anita Hill, harassed her. You put this man, Biden, Joe Biden, the one that's the president, help put this man on the Supreme Court. No, I don't trust these people for nothing.
okay.
Don't trust their food, their water, their drugs, their medicine, their clothes. Remember, they took the Indians off with smallpox. Now we got monkeypox. Smallpox, monkeypox.
Okay. There is a
This is
lot
a diabolical enemy, and all they want is to kill off black people and take our houses and our land.
Have you ever worked with something? Have you ever tried to put something together and got frustrated? Does throwing that aside and throwing it against the wall actually get you to put it together? No, we have to get past. I'm sorry.
On the television. Remember them old TVs? You had to smack it a couple times, make it act right, and go right back to normal. See, you need a can to act right. They need my daddy over school board headquarters. We need people of integrity. Do what you say you're going to do. If you say you love the kids, love the kids. You need more black men in there. If you got enough black men in there, you won't need guns. But I'm not going to stop cops from being cops because cops in school today, they dealing with people with guns. I got to give them guns. Didn't want to. Hate doing it. But kids are coming to school with guns. And I want some trained police who are not going to do in Baltimore what we saw in Uvalde, Texas. I could not imagine. These people are not letting it go. They find everybody. We need to take the example of Uvalde, Texas. Fire everybody. Because clearly, when it hit the fan, they were nowhere to be found. That's how the parents are telling it.
Okay.
Well, you got a rough road. This show is going to be here for you. But first, you got to get through this general. You got two ladies in front of you and one behind you.
Right.
That would be nice if it won an election, but you're a married man. But I don't. So, does race matter?
Does race matter? Has it never not mattered in America?
Well, that's what I thought. I've been pushing black candidates because I thought it was a majority black school system. And I know my people, for a number of reasons, don't have an effective voice. And the people who are supposed to be there, I don't know. Do I believe Fox 45 or do I believe Sonia Santa Lisa? Who do I believe? Because when I go to find out, it's check back. We don't have time to talk to you. 30 seconds, Mr. Duggar. You know, Charlie Duggar ran for mayor. He was so frustrated. And Charlie Duggar was an educator extraordinaire. Still is.
Still is.
Took, you know, Harambe swim parties out Druid Park. We used to do arts programs in the prisons. Charlie Duggar took me to Jessup and the penitentiary. We would share poetry, a break for the inmates from the monotony of being behind the walls. Charlie Duggar. You would think they would listen to Charlie Duggar, but they don't. And we got a problem with that.
You think they would
represent our community? He went out and got kids that their parents ain't even feel like dealing with. That's what Charlie Duggar did over and over and over. Generations of us came through Charlie Duggar. But they pushed Charlie Duggar to the curb like he don't know what he's talking about. We have a problem with that. And they're going to answer for it this time. Not next time, this time. Or they might as well go somewhere else. And these kids not playing.
No, we're not.
Thank you for listening to me, Mr. Bey. Anything you want to say, I'll just shut up. I'll leave the screen.
No. I'm learning from you. You know something? We're all scholars. Okay? And I tell my kids that
some people are special ed. They're in a class and they're not changing classrooms. But we okay with special ed.
Mm-hmm. We're all scholars, okay? Because we all learn from each other. We all grow from each other, okay? So
if you say so.
I feel the pain because I have the pain.
I look outside. I see it outside my door every day. And then, hey, I'm glad I got you. There's a school called Dorothy Height.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy Height is over there where John Eager Howard used to be. And John Eager Howard was the center.
Thank you.
The center of the community. You could go in there after school.
Thank you.
Go to the rec center. But now they redid the school. It's Dr. Dorothy Height now. And the little kids who live in the neighborhood, unless they attend the school, cannot use the school. Why is that, Mr. Bey?
That makes no sense.
Well, that's what they're doing. And I've gone to Senator Antonio Hayes. I've gone to the council people. I even talked to the lieutenant governor. He says it's the school superintendent. He says it's Santa Lisa.
The thing is that schools have to be.
Remember, who the hell are these people to deny our children? They're denying black children. They're making black children. These are black people making black children go an extra 2 miles to get a damn education. They're sickening, they're despicable, and they should go straight to hell.
That's a good question that you have there. The power comes from the collective us. All
the power comes from putting one of them people in the back of your trunk, wrapping them up in the carpet. I ain't say hurt nobody. Just take them for a ride. I ain't saying hurt nobody. But some people need to be taken out back to the woodshed. This is ridiculous.
We have been on a ride, and it has not been a fun ride, okay? So now we need to be able to stand and say, right now we need to stand. Okay, look, you talk about Charlie Duggar, but you also have a Parsons, right? You also have a Johnson, right? You also have, three strong, C.D. Witherspoon. These are three strong
black. And congratulations, you beat three people who have been involved in politics as long as I've known them and you spanked all of them.
Well, we were all striving for the same goal. When you go into
Yeah,
a
but
battle,
these cats they practicing politicians.
well, maybe
Congratulations.
thank you. All I can say is thank you. And
I mean, these cats got access to radio and this and that. How'd you win? What was the difference? What did you do that the other guys didn't do?
probably I did less than they did as far as the political machine is concerned. I know people. I talk to people. I listen to people. People find a trust, and I think they do too. They did too, but they want something different. Everybody wants something different right now, and I was different. I think they kind of gravitated toward their difference. You know, and these three guys, I respect that. I mean, I'm pulling them together. Like, guys, come on, because I'm not standing up here by myself. We're a force. We are a force, and we cannot let that force dissipate because of an election. We have to maintain this pressure, and we gotta keep pushing. And
There's a question right here, Mr. Bey.
I'm sorry. Number one objective.
No, I'm not gonna calm down. We all should be upset. As
Right.
a matter of fact, we all should be up at our school, at our children's school or our grandchildren's school. We stopped going to the school. We stopped spot checking. We stopped showing up. Parents did. It starts with parents. As angry as I am at the school board, it starts with parents. Got some lousy ass parents.
The number
Maybe
one
some people shouldn't be having children.
number one objective that I would really push for is the opening up of the schools as far as having it a resource for our kids. And just like you were talking about earlier, there is no way that a school should not be a refuge for our kids to say, hey, look, I can
All
go
the money we put in them new damn schools, they should be open round the clock.
round the clock.
We got 1.13.
It's a community center. It is not a private.
And now these people act like, oh, this is my building. No, it's not. It's paid for with my tax dollars too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Answer the question, Mr. Bey.
Oh yeah. Is there a public? I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm getting used.
Is there a public list of the current school board members? Where they at? Where their phone numbers at? Because y'all had some people on the school board who should not have been on the school board. We ain't never seen them in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
We're tired of people making decisions for us who don't even care about us. Mm-hmm. And we will not have it.
The school board listing is on the BaltimoreCityPublicSchools.org, I think it is, and it has a listing of each and every school board member. It also have background info. It should have also background information on each of the existing school board members. You find the school board member that you relate to most, and you go for it. This is what I want to see. This is what you've got to keep putting on the pressure. Patrick, what is that? What was the last question? I'm sorry. PTA. Oh, okay. Where are they? They've been kind of pushed out of the way. Haven't you noticed that? Where are these PTA meetings? Once again, it is when the community is taken out of the education system that you don't have the communication.
Mr. Bey, let me tell you what we need.
And that's what the PTA represented, a form of communication, of power.
So look, I'm gonna have one of these cats from the Black Panthers. Once you win the election, we're gonna give you a phone. And you ain't got to do nothing. We just want you to send us information like they're coming out the back door. 3701 North Avenue. Just send us some information. You ain't got to do nothing. We're going to send you an encrypted phone that can't be hacked. We just want you to call the shots. We'll take care of the rest. And all I'm telling you is I'm coming with Black Stevie.
All right.
I had to give him some work.
Hey guys, look, I'm trying. I'm moving forward. I'm still learning. Okay, I'm. Don't say I
You're a
have all the
granddaddy,
answers.
man. You should be teaching. You ain't no whole lot of learning. You're a granddaddy.
Ah,
And you have children in the school system, correct?
right. All of my grandchildren and my daughter all went to Baltimore City Public
See,
Schools.
we don't need anybody affiliated with the school system who can't say the same thing. If they don't have school kids in the system and their track record is suspect, get rid of them. Stop playing with these people, man. They can go work somewhere else. They're playing with our children's lives. We got to live here. If we don't give it to these kids now, we're going to give it to them from behind the barrel of a gun.
Oh, oh.
No, it's real out here.
It is real.
Everybody's strapped. Everybody got a gun.
I just finished a stint for 4 months as the foreman of the Baltimore City Grand Jury. Okay, and that is true. You know, I mean, people are carrying guns like people wear underwear. Okay, and we have to. Why? The question is why?
Fear.
Because people don't carry a weapon unless they feel that they need to defend themselves. Now,
Fear.
It is fear. Thank you. It is fear. Involved parents often get shunned by principals, and are often labeled as troublemakers. And be a troublemaker.
Yeah, you don't have to be a troublemaker because you ask questions. If everybody asked questions, then that culture would change. Parents,
education
ask questions. And don't be telling me about you put your kid a $200 damn belt. Hold up, Mr. Bey.
I'm sorry.
We getting ready for back to school shortly. These parents will be spending exorbitant amounts on a dumbass kid. Maybe don't buy the $200 belt. Maybe buy lunch for 10 weeks down at the library. You know, go to the Smithsonian. Spend that time instead of a $200 belt. Invest in your child. Spend time with your child. And look, if you ain't been up to the school checking your kid, don't be calling Fox. Don't be calling Fox. Oh, they did my kid wrong. No, you did his child wrong. Coming on Fox after 5 years, your ass been at all white parties and happy hours. My kid ain't get this, but your kid wearing $200 shoes and playing video games. Own up to your responsibility as a parent. You know your kid needs special treatment, then get them special treatment. And stop blaming other people. 0.13 GPA. I'm glad they stopped running that story. Lady ain't know. Well, what did you know? You know if he can read or not. You should know that before you get to school, right, Kwame?
Right.
You know if your kids can read A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or if he slur a little bit. If he slur a little bit, he's gonna be in the short bus.
Mm-hmm. Here we have a situation where you can't get an apple out of a pear tree. Okay.
Can't.
You know, and so I mean, so what happens is
make a racehorse out of a jackass.
Ooh.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah, but you can always throw him in it. No, but anyway, no, we can educate ourselves.
We educate these kids, though they going to the jail, brother.
Oh,
and yes, this is a 911 because they building prisons for younger and younger demographics. And after all of this progressive stuff, the prison's about to get filled back up. And these dummies got rid of bail. So a lot of people sitting over that jail on misdemeanors for 8 and 9 months because of bail reform, something the Democrats pushed for. Got rid of black bail bondsmen, got rid of white ones too. We vote and we think we know stuff and we dumb as horse shit. My name's Doni Glover. We getting them out of here. I'm mad about them black bail bondsmen. They put money in our community. They circulated it. But these progressives, dumb as a bag of rocks, now bail reform is sitting over the jail 9 months before you even go to court. That's bail reform. Thank you to the progressives. Progressive bullshit. That's what it is. All right, Mr. Cohen, baby, we getting up out of here. I know you weren't expecting this kind of interview, but we should be upset. Any final thoughts before I go?
Like I said, my final thoughts are the thoughts I began with. This is not just an election. This is a movement. And it does not have to end or begin, and it doesn't stop with just our education system. Okay, we need to make this movement of bringing the community back into more functions of community, not only in education, in economy. We need to regain control, and we need to stop seeking outside for our answers when it's all in the house.
How can people get in touch with you, Mr. Kwame Kenyatta-Bey?
Well, my website will be back up. I'm down right now, but my website will be back up probably tomorrow. And there's people for kwamebey.org. Okay.
Oh, man, we need your phone number. I got the governor's phone number. What's your phone number? You ain't serious. You don't want my vote. I need your phone number. I ain't going no damn website. You sound like Peter Francho. Go to my website for the Black Agenda.
No. My phone number's on the website. It's a Google number, and I do not have it in my head right now. Okay, all right, but it is on the website. Boom. Okay, you can look me up. I'm available. Kwame JK Bey at AOL.com. Just email me, man. And so there you go. That's how you get in contact with me. You know where I live. You know where I work. You know who I am. Okay.
Where you be at? If you don't answer them numbers, where you be at?
Where I be at?
One person that was down City Hall, we knew what strip club they like to go to. So that's why I was guessing.
Look, I've got
you married man for 30 years, so we ain't got to worry. Where you go to mosque? What mosque you go to? What church you go to?
Okay, I go Grace AME Church, 67.5, Winters Lane, Catonsville, Maryland. I have a great grandchild.
Nightclub out there. What's the name of that nightclub out there in Winters Lane? Right off Route 40, right off Emerson Avenue.
Yeah, a long time. My last night clubs were the Sphinx Club, the Bird Cage, the Sportsman. Yeah, I'm a member of the Baltimore Jazz Alliance. Okay, so boom.
What's that all about?
Well, especially during the pandemic, we kept artists working. We kept clubs that could moving. We supported. We just finished the Baltimore Jazz Fest, and so as one of the key organizations that promotes and pushes the art form. So yeah, and so I'm on their board, and we're moving forward.
The Arena Players for
golly, since 19. Golly, I lived there for about 3 years when I did all the scenic design, lighting designs, and all there. And then I went to Negro Ensemble Company as their technical director and came back, and I'll be directing a show in January at Arena Players still. So I'm still there.
Big up to Catherine B. Orange, my 8th grade teacher. Yes, Miriam Summers. You know damn well I went to Baltimore City Public Schools, born and raised. We out here, Mr. Bey. My name's Donnie Glover. Thank you for taking the time out to meet us. What's that email address again?
That is KWAMEJKBEY, Kwame JK Bey at AOL.com is my personal email.
Keep watching this show. Mr. Han Blues coming up next at 10 o'clock. Have a beautiful day. Great weekend, world.
Peace.